win that we all thought last year this team was going to come out, especially against a Jaguars team not playing very well. But how impressive was Carson Wentz in this win?
Listen, it looked like it was going the dominating win fashion. They're up 17-6, and then field goal, field goal, field goal. All of a sudden, it's a 17-15 game. But then how did the Eagles respond to that? Touchdown drive. Like, how did the Eagles at the end, when they were up only 6, how did they respond? Jacksonville couldn't get them off the field. That vaunted Jaguars defense got gashed with runs up the middle when they were down 6, trying to get the ball back in, I guess, Blake Bortles' hands. But Carson Wentz made a special play early in the game. 3rd and long, getting hit. It was vintage Wentz from last year, getting hit on 3rd down, found a way to convert it, and I thought he was quite good. Here's the play I'm talking about. I mean, this is what running under duress, finding a receiver at the 2nd level of the defense. But the Eagles had to win this game. You got the half-dozen Jacksonville Jaguars getting detained couple nights before the game. It was some incident in some London nightclub. Like, you can't lose to a Jacksonville Jaguars team that's ripping itself apart at the seams right after you blow a 17-point lead in the 4th quarter to Carolina. Wentz was really good. The Eagles found a way to win. I didn't think it was an overall great performance, but it was a very important win for them in London.
Carson was very impressive. What he did, the variety of throws, working the ball, Jordan Matthews having the best game since him coming back with the Eagle, getting the rookie tight end, North Dakota State to South Dakota State, that combination. You're not going to see many times in NFL history that's going to happen.
Good one.
But at the midway point, man, the Eagles, the bye week, I mean, they gotta reevaluate themselves. Because I was watching the game and I said, neither one of these teams can make a serious push. Now, I'm trying to make a case for the Jags. I'm trying to fudge it a little bit. And then I look at the Eagles. They've been so inconsistent. So Carson Wentz, yes, impressive. But I'm not impressed with the Eagles. They're going to have to get a lot better.
What aren't you impressed with?
Their inability to be consistent. They don't have the physicality that they had last year. They are not very good on the defensive end, on the backside. And they just don't have as many guys making play. Last year, they had a theme to what they were going to do. Now, they went through 2 parts of the season. That's the MVP season of Carson Wentz, and then trying to find Nick Foles what he could do. And then the teams played spectacular in 3 football games. That means the divisional round, the championship game, in the Super Bowl. So they are not a 500 talent team when they started the season. We're at the midway point for them, and they're 4-4. They have much better talent than their record.
Right. They had to win this game because even with the win, you know where they are in the NFC? 9th place.
9th place.
9th place.
Yes.
Packers, Vikings, Seahawks, Panthers, Bears, Washington, Saints, Rams, all ahead of them. So, and by the way, we've talked about the NFC East, how winnable it is. Okay, well, Washington's now 5-2 with, according to what teams' records are right now, the easiest schedule of any team in the NFL the rest of the way. Washington's going to find a way to get to 10 wins. Like, at 5-2 right now with the schedule they have, it would be shocking to me if they don't at least go 5-4 the rest of the way. So Philly's got its work cut out for it. Like, Philly's going to have to start accumulating wins. This was a good step in that direction, but to Chris's point, they've had one dominant performance all year against the Giants, and the Giants have packed it in. Like, there hasn't been a vintage Eagles performance, even though I thought there were some really good plays from Carson Wentz on 3rd down yesterday, which is how he made himself into the MVP candidate he was last year. Overall, they haven't been great. The Jags are not a good football team right now.
No.
I was just going to bounce off that. What's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars right now?
The Jags, there's certain teams, and Coach Mangini talks about this, how you're going to deal with adversity, how you're going to deal with success. The Jags, the success they had last year, led them to doing a lot of interviews this offseason, led to Jalen Ramsey making all these quotes and everything. They're not a good football team.
And it's not all Blake Bortles.
Oh, no. They got some problems on the defense. Leonard Fournette's been injured. He's close to coming back, but their inability to have that dominant running game. This roster was not put together well. They didn't have enough playmakers when they started the season, and a couple injuries have decimated the wide receiving room, and also the running backs have been affected by it.
I just think the Jaguars bought into the hype that should have never existed. Here's who the Jags were last year. A very good defense on an above-average team that for some reason dominated one team, Pittsburgh. Like Jacksonville last year, 10-6. That's a good season. That ain't no great season. Their first playoff win against the Buffalo Bills, who were just thrilled to actually be in the postseason. Then they got Pittsburgh, a team they dominated early in the season. They put up 40+ in the playoff game. They blow a halftime lead to the Pats in the AFC Championship game and act as if, okay, yeah, we'll obviously get back to that place. No, you won't. Like, you're not playing like it. Last year, you were an underdog to even get to the AFC Championship game. You can't be...
And they didn't start the season well. What Jalen Ramsey did as far as that interview and starting the season that way, it was not a good start for the team. I told Nick before this happened, old Spicy Mouth, it was going to come back to hurt him. Yep, that's his name. Hashtag Spicy Mouth old Jalen. Yes.
Meanwhile, that Jags team has lost 4 in a row.
That's what, they should be apprehended.
Listen,
they should be detained for faking to be a pro team.
They thought that their excuse about the thing that happened in London was, we thought the bottles of champagne were free. We're just being sent to us. And what's the point you made, C?
When was the last time somebody sent you bottle service?
Right, the Jaguars.
Like, yeah, when you're Friday night in Jacksonville, you're not going out getting VIP service. Like, let's just stop that. Like, let's just...
The internationally known Jacksonville Jaguars. You got the random folks in London.
You know you are Jacksonville. Listen, you're like Nick.